We begin in Washington, where President Donald Trump has asked the state and Treasury departments to draft a list of sanctions that the United States has placed on Russia that could be lifted. This is the latest in President Donald Trump's effort to improve diplomatic and economic relations with Moscow. However, it's not immediately clear what the White House would seek in return for any relief on sanctions. The move comes after President Donald Trump ended all military aid to Ukraine, taking Washington-Kyiv ties to an all-time low.
I'll tell you what, I think it takes two to tango, and you're going to have to make a deal with Russia, and you're going to have to make a deal with Ukraine. You're going to have the assent, and you're going to have the consent from the European nations, because I think that's important, and from us. I think everybody has to get into a room, so to speak, and we have to make a deal. And the deal can be made very fast. It should not be that hard a deal to make. It can be made very fast. Now, maybe somebody doesn't want to make a deal. And if somebody doesn't want to make a deal, I think that person won't be around very long. That person will not be listened to very long because I believe that Russia wants to make a deal.
Now, many are accusing President Donald Trump of cozying up to Putin, who started the war by invading Ukraine 3 years ago. Relations between the United States and Russia have been frosty since the end of World War II, but Putin's entry into politics in the year 2000 has been pivotal in upending U.S.-Russia relations. President Bill Clinton was the first to reach out to Putin, but found the Russian leader cold yet competent. President George W. Bush increased meetings with Putin over his 8-year presidency and even drove Putin around his ranch in a pickup truck. However, Putin then invaded the European nation of Georgia in 2008, which ended his relations with President Bush. Though President Barack Obama and Putin were often seen sharing jokes and laughs, in 2012, relations between the two leaders turned frosty after Putin annexed Crimea in 2014. The détente came when President Trump took office and met Putin in 2017, and the two met at least 5 times during the first Trump term. However, when President Joe Biden came into office, relations with Russia turned more confrontational after Putin invaded Ukraine in 2022. And now, with President Trump back in office, he's again trying to mend relations with the Russian leader who started a war every single time there was a different president in the White House, with the exception of Donald Trump himself.
I can only say you can go back to Bush, you can go back to Obama, and go back to Biden. They took a lot. The only one they didn't get, you know what I gave them? I gave them anti-tank missiles. That's what I gave them. I gave them sanctions on Russia. And let me tell you, we have to make a deal because there are a lot of people being killed that shouldn't be killed. But remember, Trump gave them nothing, and the other presidents gave them a lot. They gave them everything. So, you know, I really, Putin is the one that will tell you this has not been so good for them. The fact is that I just want fairness. I want fairness. But think of it. I gave Russia nothing except grief. I gave them nothing. I gave them sanctions and javelins. That's what I gave them.
Now, it's unclear whether President Trump's approach towards Putin could end the war, or will it just buy more time for Russia to launch another major conflict?
Merci beaucoup. Hi, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Namaste, Mr. President.
Bharat Kelogon, Komeri Namaste.
How many people generally follow you in interviews?
Typically, in a month, we have viewers up to 150 million. That's more than twice the population of France. And in the last 2 years, we had 3 billion viewers. So I say, Laurent, this is your chance to be famous. You're on Firstpost. One word to describe your equation with Prime Minister Modi.
Amitié.
As India and France work together, are you creating a new era of non-alignment in the technology space?
India is a training superpower. 1 million engineers a year, more than all of Europe and the US combined. So we have that partnership. We have a partnership on the environment and the economy. We also have civilian nuclear programs. And that is something we've developed far beyond the France-India relationship. So we want to work together on AI.
And then comes China with its DeepSeek, creating models at a fraction of the cost. Did that innovation take you by surprise? Did that breakthrough make you sit up and think, what did the Chinese do and how?
But what did DeepSeek do? They took everything that was already available from the last AI model and then they recalibrated it.
So are you going to ban Chinese AI in France?
So we don't have this American approach of banning tech because of where it comes from.